How's it going, everyone? I am Jinsula. I hope you're having a good day, and welcome to today's Pokémon GO video. Alright, we have an update to yesterday's leak video. Just a few hours after I posted that video, Niantic went ahead and released all of the info for April in Pokémon GO. To no surprise, it turns out the leaks were false, somewhat. I'm going to be talking about all of this in today's video, so let's roll the intro and get right into it. Alright, let's talk about what's happening in April with Pokémon GO. So, there was a leak recently talking about what the in-game events would be in April. For the most part, the leak did correctly predict that there would be a spring-themed event and a sustainability event. However, the dates the leak indicated were completely off. So here is what is actually happening in April. Let's first talk about the legendary 5-star raids. Continuing the theme of the Season of Rising Heroes, we are going to see Lugia, Incarnate Form Landorus, and Tapu Bulu appearing in 5-star raids. Lugia is going to be available until April 11th, Incarnate Form Landorus will be from April 11th until the 17th, and Tapu Bulu will be from April 17th until May 2nd. Something important to note here is that Tapu Bulu's shiny form will be debuting when it returns to raids on April 17th. This is keeping in line with all the Tapu releases during this season, as each of their shiny forms debuted with their individual releases. Now in terms of Mega Evolution raids, we actually have a very interesting lineup. Until April 4th, Mega Alakazam will be in Mega Evolution raids. From April 4th until April 11th, we have Mega Lopunny in raids. From April 11th to April 17th, we will get Mega Blastoise, and from April 17th until May 2nd, we got Mega Slowbro in Mega Evolution raids. Now, the reason why I say this is an interesting lineup is because for at least 3 of them, we have some actually relevant Mega Evolutions. Most notably, we have Mega Alakazam, which is currently one of the absolute best Mega Evolutions for neutral damage. We have Mega Lopunny, which is extremely useful for its boost to fighting types, and we have Mega Slowbro, which we just had a community day for. While these Megas are not the absolute best currently in the game, especially in light of Primal Kyogre getting released just a couple months ago, they are still pretty good if you don't have the energy for Kyogre's Primal Reversion. Thus, I would still farm up these Megas, at least do a couple of them for enough Mega Energy for one Mega Evolution. Okay, next, let's talk about the in-game events. On April 4th all the way until April 11th, we are going to have the Spring into Spring event. This is the spring-themed event that we get every year. You can expect to see egg-themed bonuses and egg-themed Pokemon, like Togetic, Execute, and Chansey. We also typically have Pokemon with flower crowns during this event, so if you want one of those, then this event is where you can get them. Now on April 9th, we are going to have the next Elite Raid Day. This time, we will have the debut of Lakey. We don't know what the gameplay implications will be for this Pokemon, but we can assume it will be as impactful as Regidrago. There is also no word of anything else happening on this day, which clearly proves the leaks that I talked about yesterday were completely fabricated. Now from April 13th until April 17th, we're going to have a Mystic Hero event. I'm not sure what exactly will be happening during this event, but I imagine it will involve a very specific type of Pokemon and will follow the themes of the Season of Rising Heroes. I'm actually really curious what we are going to get for this event, because Niantic has done a good job straying away from the mundane and predictable when it comes to their in-game events this year. Moving along, on April 20th until the 23rd, we are going to get the Sustainability event. Just like the Spring event, this is another in-game event that we typically get every year. The event Pokemon are usually themed around garbage and coral reefs, so expect to see Pokemon like Trubbish in the wild. Just like with the Let's Go event that is currently ongoing, Trubbish is a great way to amass Stardust, so be ready to farm them up. There's also a possibility we will be getting Pyukumuku during this event. It is related to coral life and shallow waters, so I do think this event would be the perfect place to introduce it. However, we just don't know yet, but it would be pretty cool. So yeah, these are the major events that we are going to be getting in April. We also have a couple of community days and a limited research day. The April Community Day is going to feature Togetic, and we don't know what the Community Day Classic is just yet, but I'm sure it's going to generate a ton of hype. In terms of the Limited Research Day, it is actually one of my favorite kinds of in-game events. I don't know which Pokemon will be featured, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. Alright, finally, let's talk about the Spotlight Hours in April, because there's actually one particular spotlight hour where you will want to go hard. On April 4th, coinciding with the spring event, we're going to have Execute as the featured Pokemon with a 2x candy per catch bonus. On April 11th, we are getting Shelter with a 2x candy per transfer bonus. On April 18th, we'll be getting Trapinch with a 2x experience per evolution bonus, and on April 25th, we'll be getting Tangela with a 2x Stardust per catch bonus. Now, there is one Spotlight Hour that I want to draw your attention to, and it is the Shelter Spotlight Hour on April 11th. This is going to be a massive one, because Shelter gives you bonus Stardust anytime you catch it. In particular, this one Pokemon gives you 1000 Stardust per catch. That means with the Star Piece, you'll be getting 1500 Stardust for each Shelter you catch. Even though the bonus is not related to Stardust, this one Spotlight could inject an absolute ton of Stardust into your inventory. Definitely plan for this one, because you will not want to miss out on all of this Stardust. The last time we had a Spotlight Hour featuring a Pokemon that gave bonus Stardust, I came out with nearly 500,000 Stardust at the end of that hour. It was pretty insane, and the thing is, Shelter gives the most Stardust out of every basic Pokemon with a Stardust bonus, with only Chimecho giving an equal amount. I plan to go really hard for this one Spotlight Hour. There's a specific location that has a lot of cluster spawns that I go to. I highly suggest you also find yourself a really good farming spot for this specific Spotlight Hour. Make sure you stock up on Pokeballs and save a couple of star pieces. Do not miss out on this opportunity for a massive amount of Stardust. Overall, I have to say April is looking pretty good for Pokemon GO. We have 2 solid community days, a handful of really good in-game events, as well as a Spotlight Hour that you will not want to miss. A lot of this is coming at the best time, as the weather is starting to get warmer, and we are on the verge of ramping up hype for Pokemon Go Fest. We will be getting the announcement for that event likely during April, so keeping the momentum going with quality in-game content should be on Niantic's mind. By the looks of it, it does seem like they will accomplish that. I am slightly disappointed that this announcement negates the leaks that I talked about yesterday. It means that the community days and the other content in that leak is likely not accurate at all. I'm still pretty confident that we will be getting an Axu Community Day this year, but it might not be in June. But who knows how things will play out. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Leave your thoughts down below what you think about all of this April content. Is there a particular event you are looking forward to? Let me know in the comments and let's have a great discussion. And if you ended up enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support my channel in any way, big or small, then be sure to check out the links in the description below. For all my patrons, they get a permanent spot on my in-game friends list. So if you want to interact with me in some way, like with remote raids, then do consider becoming a patron on my Patreon. But yeah, that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.